it on? So I was out in the hallway pondering some thoughts, and the words of Ambrose Bryce came across my view, and it says, "A bore is a person who talks when you want him to listen." And all of us have friends, and we all have problems, and they'll call and try to talk to us about different issues. And the first thing that you have to consider is compassion. If you are upset, would you want someone to interrupt you and make your problem their own and try to take the attention off of your suffering and your, longing for compassion? And the next issue I think is important to focus is understanding. You should sit and listen to them and understand where they're coming from and why their feelings are hurt or what has happened in life. And I know when people call me, I always want to jump in and give them advice, but I have to take a step back and just listen to them and let them vent and go through, different processes of grieving. And I think this, in, all actuality, should just come from overcoming different meaning and overcoming different odds that you have against you. So I like to, encourage people and have them really focus on that everything's going to be okay rather than interrupting them while they talk and, just making their problems my own. Thank you.
What?
Got off from a young age. Put the controller down, step away.
Couldn't do it, man.
I know.
Can't do it.
I still got buddies do it. 4 or 5 years older than me. Waiting outside for the games like that. So happy about waking up because that's the beginning. Takes up too much time.
It does, man.
Too much of this shit to be
Dude, think about it. League of Legends. League of Legends. The 29th of November in Las Vegas, dude. $100,000.
To win?
$100,000. $100,000 tournament. If you win, it's like you want to play. I'm trying to get good enough so I can play next year's final.
All right, the opening was okay, kind of getting to your topic. It seems like the theme of your speech is generally about being a good listener, and I kind of like that. I think you could be a little bit sharper on that. You really just seem like you rushed right into your supporting points instead of previewing what that content is. And I think that you have a couple of points, but they aren't as well distinguished because you didn't really give us a structure as you're going along. It just seems like the ideas pop out. You identify them when you get to them, but I think a little bit more planning would be helpful. Also, I think you need some details on a couple of those illustrations. You've got the abstract concept, you summarize it pretty quickly, and then you move on. And an illustration, I think, would give you a chance to talk a little bit more and engage the audience more. And that's part of the problem in the presentation is that you're over before you get much chance to engage the audience. Your voice is pretty effective. It's loud. There's okay variety in the tone for the amount of time that you were speaking. It did seem like there were a couple of spots where there was some hesitancy. Your gestures seem limited. Occasionally, I think that's where your nervousness comes out. It looks like maybe there's a little bit of finger grasping and uncertainty there. Facial expressions and eye contact, I think, are the things that are most problematic. You have a tendency to look up in the corners of the room and sort of above the audience while you're speaking to them. And the expression on your face isn't always talking about the emotion that you're discussing in your examples. It's really more reflective of how you feel in the context in which you're speaking right now. And I think you want it to be tied in more to the subject matter. Your posture's fine while you're up there talking to us. You're centered. Like I said, it's only about a minute and a half's worth of speaking, so you don't really get much chance to engage with the audience. I thought at the end of the speech it was clear that you were done. It was very definitive that you were finished, but it felt like you were just getting started, and that's unfortunate because I think you were on the right track building up to something, but it just didn't develop for you. All right, thank you. Son, come get a topic and send Vanessa in, please.
Sugar.